How's it going, Red Sox fans? This is a Red Sox CLNS Roundtable. Long time no talk. I'm Alex Barth. He's Nick Quaglia. We come to you this morning because, Nick, I think it is safe to say we have reached DEFCON 10 with David Price. He got lit up by the Kansas City effing Royals last night. He's proven he can't pitch against the Yankees. The guy's a mess. The guy, and I know you're going to throw that string of starts he had between May and June to me. He's a mess. He's a disaster right now.
I mean, I can't defend David Price at all right now. Like, yeah, he had that string of starts. It was since May 12th. May 12th, he gave up 7 runs. Since then, he had
by the way, two.
I don't even remember who it was.
The May
12th was the No, Texas, the Rangers.
Oh, that's right. That was after the Yankees start. Okay.
Gave up 7 runs to the Rangers.
The last place Rangers.
So then he got shelled that game, and then ever since then, he stepped it up.
Against bad competition.
He looked excellent. Not all bad competition. He only gave up 3 runs against Houston, one of the best, arguably one of the best teams, if not the best team.
All right, he gave up 7 to Houston, so those to Texas, so those cancel out.
Okay, fine. If you want to cancel those out, whatever. But he gave up 3. He cruised through these past whatever amount of starts up until New York, where this is the confusing part to me, because before he came to the Red Sox, I remember when the Red Sox signed him. And one of the biggest things that made Red Sox fans excited was, oh, this guy shuts down the AL East. He crushes the AL East, and he is excellent against the Yankees. Since he came here, he's a train wreck against them. It's something about the Yankees as a Boston Red Sox, because the guy his ERA is north of 10 against them. That's not going to work at all when you're a member of the Boston Red Sox, because you're going to have to go through these guys if you want to win anything as a Red Sox.
There's a huge difference between pitching against the Yankees as a member of the Tampa Bay Rays or the Toronto Blue Jays or even the Detroit Tigers, and pitching against the Yankees as a member of the Boston Red Sox. It's just a level of pressure he's not ready for. He's not. That's, I think, part of the reason why he pitched so well against the AL with his former teams. He was familiar with it. There was a comfort level to him. He pitched against those teams on a regular basis. It's all about pressure. He can't handle it. He is SAWFT soft. No, I said it at the beginning of the year. I'll say it again. I'll say it now. The best spot for him, because he's not going anywhere. He's not opting out. And if you have to deal with that contract, you might as well get something for it. The best spot for him is in the bullpen.
No,
especially we have seen what the bullpen has been in the last couple of weeks. He was his most value to the Red Sox his whole time here. The most valuable he's been was as the 8th inning guy during the playoffs last year, as the long reliever, the Andrew Miller role during the playoffs last year. What are you doing, Nick? Where would you rather have him if you're in a playoff series against New York? Are you going to put him out on the mound at Yankee Stadium and dangle him out in front of 50,000 or 20,000 because the Yankees ticket prices are way too expensive? Or are you going to put him in the bullpen where he's shown some level of success? I do not want David Price starting a playoff game against the New York Yankees.
You act like he hasn't had any success though as a starter. You act like he hasn't had any success though as a starter.
Against the Yankees, only the Yankees. He hasn't.
It's only the Yankees. It doesn't mean you just dump the guy into the bullpen. You don't just dump the guy into the bullpen because
Yankees in the playoffs. Odds are you are playing the Yankees in the playoffs.
So you're going to take one of your, regardless of his stats against the Yankees, he's a very talented pitcher. He's a head case right now. We saw that again last night. He gets shelled by the Yankees.
That's a talent. That's
I know
what makes Chris Sale so good. Part of his talent is that he has a short memory. He doesn't get fazed by the big moment.
That's an intangible. That's an intangible.
Intangible. Hey, go on, Madden. Go on the show. Look at abilities. Is intangible not an ability on those games? No. You need to. It's not an intangible. You know what? It's not an intangible, Nick, because intangible implies that it is something additional to what you need to do your job. Okay. I know I keep going back to football. For a running back to be able to throw the ball is an intangible. In basketball, for a point guard to rebound is an intangible. It's not part of your job. Being strong mentally, having a short memory, being able to pitch in clutch situations, being able to pitch in hostile environments, that's not an intangible. That is necessary, especially if you're on the Boston Red Sox.
We have different definitions of intangibles, obviously. But no, what are you going to stick this guy in the bullpen when he's fully healthy? Then your starting rotation in the playoffs against the Yankees is going to be Chris Sale, Rick Porcello, and then Erod, who also got shelled, mind you, last Friday night. So it's not like you have a lot of better options right now.
That shouldn't be their final rotation, Nick, and we'll get into that in a later roundtable. You can check that out on the CLNS YouTube page and on our Twitter at Red Sox CLNS. I don't think this is their final rotation, but that's a conversation for another day. And the rotation you gave, yes, I feel better about that than David Price because those guys have beaten the Yankees. Price hasn't.
We didn't even name a fourth guy. So your fourth guy could either be Hector Velasquez, Brian Johnson.
Give me Hector Velasquez. Give me
over David Price.
Yes, against the Yankees, absolutely.
Oh my God,
absolutely. Did you not watch that game the other night? Last night.
Of course I did.
He has set in back-to-back starts franchise records. This is a franchise that goes back to the 1900s. Franchise records for home runs allowed in an inning and hit batters in an inning. How do you have any confidence in that guy?
I don't have any. I don't have confidence in him. I also don't have confidence in Velasquez being able to do it in New York. I don't have confidence in Brian Johnson doing it in New York.
I have negative confidence in David Price.
The only one I might have
confidence in Hector Velasquez. That's fine. I have negative confidence in David Price.
Oh, that's impossible. That's impossible.
Look right here.
Listen.
The only thing that's impossible is dribbling a football, Nick.
We know the guy has the talent, and we know that he cannot pitch against New York. He did it before he was a member of the Boston Red Sox. But quite frankly, I don't feel comfortable putting that guy in the bullpen.
He was good in the bullpen last year, though. Why don't you want him to do the one thing that he's been good at?
Because I want him to be the starting pitcher. I know it's year 3. I still am holding out hope to do it because we saw it in this
You're ridiculous, Nick.
We saw it in this stretch where he was one of the top pitchers in the game. I was not more confident in anybody than David Price during this stretch of games. I mean, I know it wasn't great competition, but Seattle's a pretty good baseball team right now.
It's not the Yankees. The American
What about the Houston Astros?
Sucks.
The Houston Astros.
All right, and then I can throw back at you the 7 runs against the Rangers, who are in last place. So
yeah, he had
first
a tough
place,
day.
last place, we're not going to bring those up because we're going to get caught in a merry-go-round. The fact of the matter is there are 4 teams in the American League that are good. There's 2 at the very top. There's 2 a little bit below them. And then there's a huge pile of dog excrement before the rest of that league. Even the Cleveland Indians, who are a first-place team, suck. I'm sorry, Tito. They're not great. Who'd you say?
The Central stinks. The AL Central is horrendous.
There's 4 teams that matter, and he can't pitch. You take the Red Sox out of the deal because obviously he's not going to pitch against them. He can't pitch against 33% of them. That's a high. He can't pitch against a third of the teams he needs to pitch against.
But there's just no other options that you have that I feel more comfortable with than having him in there. I'd rather have a guy who is a veteran in the playoffs than Hector Velasquez, Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson.
What has he done in the playoffs?
What have these guys done in the playoffs? Nothing. We don't know what they're going to do. So I'd rather have David Price go out there.
Over what? Career 1-8?
David Price, in my mind. David Price, in my mind, has a 50-50 shot at being excellent. We don't know what Velasquez, Brian Johnson, or quite frankly, Drew Palmer and Steven Wright are going to look like out there. I have no confidence in any of those guys.
I'll tell you this. He has a 33% chance of throwing a decent game in the playoffs.
I'd say 50. 50-50.
I will say, or you know, he does because they're going to get the Yankees in the first round. They're going to.
Yes, most likely. Yeah, you're right.
And he can't pitch against the Yankees. And if you can't make it past the Yankees, he's never going to get a good start.
My rotation, I would put Sale, Porcello, and I would put Price third. I would put Price third, especially if it's against the Yankees, because we know we can't pitch against them
in New York. So you're going to put David Price on the mound in Game 3 in New York.
We don't know what it's going to look like. We don't know what it's going to look like. It's a
I'll tell you, it's going to look bad. If you do that, it's not going to look good, Nick. I'll tell you that right now. You can cold take me exposed to all you want.
I don't trust the other options that you have unless you make a move.
And I'm going to end it there because we will discuss possible ways the Red Sox can fix this situation on the next roundtable. You can catch that online, clnsmedia.com, on our YouTube page, and on our Twitter account at Red Sox CLNS. Nick, it's been a fun merry-go-round with you. I feel like we were just kind of playing ping pong there. Hope you, the listener, got something out of it. What do you think? Are you comfortable with David Price going to the playoffs? Should he be in the bullpen? Should he not be on the playoff roster? Let us know in the comments down below. Until the next one, for Nick Quaglia, I'm Alex Barth. Thanks for watching.